into a space like that, and so it was hard for folks who were hard of hearing to fully engage in the conversation. So just a little piece of feedback for future. Conversation did have a bit of a moment there, and honestly, I think beyond what we hear sometimes, I do hear from folks in the community about concerns they have regarding surveillance and flock. And so, just to really go off and ditto what Councillor Harris is saying, that I think Las Cruces could really have some model legislation that can be holding this conversation responsibly. I understand that even if I advocated for us to remove flock, that I would probably be in the minority. And so if that is not the correct pathway, then we absolutely must adopt model legislation that helps with people's concerns regarding surveillance. And I think often we can come at it from a point of safety, like what happened at Young Park and those kinds of things. I also hope that we can come to this conversation with the concern that a lot of historically targeted communities might have. Immigrants, people seeking reproductive justice, I don't know, people on the far left terrorist list that now exist. Whatever the case may be, I think there are very legitimate concerns for people to have around this. And so I do want to encourage us to, and I'm glad Councillor Harris is working on it, on model legislation. Chief Story and Lieutenant Bradley were able to tell me that the LCPD is working on launching a public transparency portal for flock, which I think is very important. I've spoken with the city clerk about our internal audits. I know that our Welcoming City resolution that we improved in October had a piece about it, had a piece of audits in it, and I've asked for us to really look at that and see if there have been requests by either federal law enforcement agencies or out-of-state law enforcement agencies that have asked for surveillance data from Las Cruces Police Department or the city of Las Cruces as a whole. And so I think those audits are important and that we are transparent with them. So those things are really important to me, and I do think that that conversation we had with OIR last week about if these are here to stay, then we need to be responsible stewards of these technologies, and I do think there are ways that many cities are taking on to be responsible stewards. The last thing I wanted to lift up was that this weekend I attended the Alameda Neighborhood Association meeting, and one of the things that I promised them I would bring up today was they're requesting four-way stops around the J. Paul Taylor Academy schools. And the reason I wanted to bring this up during comments today was because I know we're headed into a work session on traffic safety. But I had brought this issue up before, where it feels like sometimes there's a misconnect between what residents in neighborhoods are experiencing with traffic versus